Galatians chapter 5. Galatians, the book of Galatians chapter 5. And I draw our attention today to one verse, just one verse, Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16. This is what Paul said, writing to the church at Galatia. He said, I say to you, walk in the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. May the Lord write this word upon our hearts. Here's what Paul said. He said, walk in the Spirit. And if you walk in the Spirit, you're going to have the very means by which you're going to be able to combat the desires of the flesh, the pull of the world, the negativity, the challenge that is presented. We know that when he was writing to the church at Galatia, these people here, that he was writing about the reality of the world in which we live. No different to our day and age. His day was no different to ours in terms of what we have to deal with. So here he has two things that he's dealing with. On the one hand, he's got men and women and boys and girls who know and love the Lord Jesus Christ, and for want of a better description, have been brought up right, have been shown the way, and above all, have been filled with the Spirit of the living God. And on the other hand, there's the reality of all that the world has to offer. Now, the Bible is filled with warnings about the world. That's why the Apostle John said, be careful that you don't love this world. That's why Paul, writing, said this. He said, you need to be in this world. You cannot help being in the world, but don't be of the world. He wasn't advocating that in order to overcome that you become a monk, that you go and live in a cave somewhere, that you isolate yourself or get an island, go and live there and never have to deal with the world, that you shut out the world. There's a great dilemma even for parents today. I greatly admire how so many parents do everything they can to protect their children from this world. But I'm also going to say to you, it's jolly hard to protect children from this world. You know, you can say all day, well, I'm not going to allow my kids to see violence. It's almost impossible. I tell you what I'm going to do, says the parent, quite correctly. I'm going to shut off that television set and I'm not going to let them see bad behavior or immoral behavior. It's becoming increasingly difficult. It's becoming increasingly difficult to bring up children in today's world without them seeing a full display of the worst that a sinful world has to offer. There's almost a numbness that is creeping in to the ranks of our people, because young people today in particular are being exposed to everything one can possibly imagine. Nothing is sacred anymore. Even our newscasts have no problem whatsoever in showing whatever they want to. And even the shock syndrome has been eliminated in many ways. People are no longer shocked by what they see. And you and I are living in a world today in which we become immune from that. We become desensitized. So for most people in today's world, we can look at something on television and we can see something horrific or something immoral, and with a click of a button, we can just erase it. We can turn to our favorite ball game or a cooking show, and within 2 minutes of having said, "Isn't that pitiful?" we've forgotten all about it because we've completely erased that from our minds. It's just eliminated. We've got somewhere else to go. We can just switch the channel. We can change our tune. We can walk in the it very quickly, and we are rapidly becoming desensitized to whatever it is. We know it's there, but we know how not to have to deal with it very quickly.